Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh.
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny, your elf on a shelf's homicidal tendencies.
Oh my God.
This is Trevin.
And I'm Amanda.
Has your elf killed anything yet?
No, and she really hasn't been that naughty this year. But before I actually jump into all the festivities this episode, this is not one to listen with children. I was telling Trevin before we recorded, I don't want our show to be the reason that someone's views on Santa are dashed and...
Are dashered and prancered upon.
The elf, the only naughty thing really was that she pooped in the Barbie toilet again this year, little chocolate turds. But Lila liked it because then we ate it. So...
Lila would like that.
Yeah, we ate the chocolate turds. But honestly, it's kind of been one of those years. And I'm saying this is only like my second year doing this. This year, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I've had a couple mornings where I have forgotten to assist the elf on the shelf.
Oh, so it's still just on the shelf?
I had to be like, oh my God, I really have to pee. No one leave the room. And then assist.
You're putting it up on a shelf and you start to walk. No, that's not good. And you put it somewhere else. Not that good. You put it in your mouth. You're like, nah, this isn't going to work.
Honestly, this is me. But Trevin, my dear, what is your dreadful dilemma?
I've noticed that you and I come back to marketing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
In our show. And I know it's a struggle for us as creators, but also we just notice marketing more in the wild. I've just learned more about it, so I've become more aware of it.
Yeah.
So I found the most interesting and new way to promote your podcast.
Oh my God, how?
I've had some cats that have been getting in little tussles lately, and I was like, these cats need to calm down. So I went to Amazon to get my calming collars to calm everybody down. And as I was scrolling down on my Amazon page, it said, people who buy these calming collars also like to listen to these podcasts. And then there's a big crime junkie logo right there in the beginning.
What?
And I thought, is this the future? Is this something that they're going to start doing with the algorithms? It's just like, oh, well, these people also like to buy this stuff, so maybe they like to listen to a podcast. I understand it's the other way around. Like us podcasts tell you, hey, try blah, blah, blah.
What the hell products do you think our listeners would want to buy on Amazon?
That's what I was thinking. People would probably be like, oh, I need ass cream for this huge wart on my ass. They scroll down and then there's our logo with the cat. Like people with huge ass warts happen to listen to Live, Laugh, Larceny.
Oh my God, that's how low you think of our listeners.
The
Trevin,
space is probably easy to buy.
I was thinking like a water flosser, a bidet. I was thinking more in that realm, but my God.
Ass wart.
That is really weird, though. I have not seen that yet.
I just didn't think that they would do it the other way around. Like products don't care about promoting a podcast. The podcasts are the ones who do the promoting.
It's really weird.
So I'm going to look into seeing what we can do.
Okay, please, please, please. I also have a dreadful dilemma.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. It does have to do with a visual. Like I always do on our episodes, I will do a post about it. But this has to be discussed and this has to be seen. So here I was. I can't even remember what night it was, but this was like a couple weeks ago. I got a text in the family group chat between both my parents and my husband, Jordan, and I. And basically, my mom sent us a link to this article. And she said, Jordan, this looks just like you. Okay, so it kind of felt like one of those scam messages that people are like, oh my God, I saw you in this video. And then, blah, blah, blah. But it was for my mom. I knew it wasn't. I was like, this is really weird. I click on it. Okay.
Oh, no.
There is a local couple of thieves in our area.
Oh.
And one of them looks just like Jordan. Do you want to see a picture?
Oh, yeah, I do. That's like a classic TV episode. That happens all the time and stuff.
He has the same hat as this guy.
The same winning smile.
He has the same facial hair, the same eyes, the same eyebrows, the same skin tone, the same facial hair. He's even doing like a weird little side-eye lip thing. Now, Jordan does not have a puffy black jacket. That's the only thing
We can get him one.
in this photo, Trevin, that if I saw it, I'd be like, well, he doesn't have that jacket, but look at this guy.
Whoa. Yeah, I give it to you.
Okay. These people are on the run still because I just looked for an update.
And you said they're Kansas City?
It's Liberty, Missouri, which is like
super close.
very, very, very close to us, which is like a suburb of Kansas City, kind of. But Liberty, Missouri, there's 2 people caught on surveillance cameras, and they are suspected wallet thieves with over $58,000 in stolen credit card charges.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I kind of want to make Jordan reenact this. I'll make him put on his tan hat. He'll put on his non-puffy black jacket. And I'm going to make him walk out our front door, and I'll do a side-by-side maybe.
Easy.
So it's kind of an inside joke now with my family. We're like, okay, Jordan, you can just confess. And I was like, where's that $58,000? I'd really like some of that.
Yeah, I'm out here hustling Pretty Litter and you're over here stealing credit cards and shit. Come on.
Where do you find the time? But yeah, so that's my dreadful dilemma.
That is really dreadful, and I wish it was a more known crime so people could call the cops on him and stuff.
Oh, God, please, no, no.
Or like children point at him like, that's the thief, get him.
That would be something that I could handle.
If this was a sitcom.
Exactly. So, Trevin, it is our holiday episode, and we are going to be doing some holiday trivia. Whoa, 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 Trevin, we do not have the rights to say that.
Let's have a fun time.
Woohoo! We've never done a Christmas one. I don't remember.
So we did our naughty list last year. Oh, wait, did we do like Christmas Mad Libs or something?
Oh, it might have been Mad Libs. So I don't know if we've ever actually done a Christmas themed anything like information.
Yeah. I don't think so either. So this, honestly, even though it is kind of like a normal-ish based episode, it's still something new with a Christmas episode. So hey.
Yeah, so stop complaining.
Where's your holiday spirit? Okay, Trevin.
Yes.
The song Jingle Bells was the first song to do what? Is it A, the first song played in outer space? B, the first Christmas song written by a criminal? Or is it C, the first holiday song dubbed the best single of all time?
I don't know.
Do you know much about the song Jingle Bells, Trevin?
I know the Batman version real well.
There's a Batman version?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows it.
Oh, yes. Robin laid an egg.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to go with A.
And you are correct.
Holy hell, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Jingle Bells, written by James Lord Pierpont in 1857, became the first song played in space using a musical instrument. I do want to make sure that part's really clear because apparently there was a performance, but it was like an a cappella folk song, I guess, was technically the first song in space, but this was the first song with a musical instrument. This happened on December 16th, 1965, and it was broadcast during NASA's Gemini 6A spaceflight.
That is cool.
I think that would be a pretty fun tune to hear in outer space.
What'd you say it was played on?
Well, I mean, they actually played the song Jingle Bells.
Right, but on an instrument.
No, it was just the first song played that had a musical instrument within it.
Oh.
They played someone just singing before that, but there was never anything played that had an instrument already in the song. Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
Now I find that weird. And what was the date on that again?
December 16th.
Okay,
so
it was
in
around Christmas.
December too. Yeah.
Okay.
1965. So they were probably feeling festive.
Yeah, that explains it then.
That explains it all. I do want to say, though, about the other things that I threw out there. I do not know if any Christmas music was written by a criminal. That would be fun if that was actually a thing, but I don't know. I do also want to say that Bing Crosby's White Christmas has sold 50 million copies and has been dubbed the best single of all time by Guinness World Records.
So it is a Christmas song.
It's not Jingle Bells. It's White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
I love it when the options can lead to other fun facts, because the best single of all time, I would have never guessed it to be a Christmas song at all.
Right. This one kind of was borderline, like a two truths and a lie.
Yeah.
But in reverse. But I had to do it this way. I just really liked that fact.
Yeah, I like to do that sometimes too, mainly because I feel like it makes me a more strategic trivia player. Because if maybe in passing you once heard Christmas, best single of all time, maybe when you're like 8 years old or something, you might make that connection and you'll pick that one.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to do that.
Oh, okay. I see you.
So I also have a trivia for you.
Okay.
And I had a different one going for most of the week. And then I changed it last minute because I found this one to be so interesting and fun.
Okay.
So, what American restaurant is a popular Christmas staple in Japan? Is it A, KFC, B, McDonald's, or C, IHOP?
Wow. That is a good one. I'm trying to think what KFC and McDonald's exactly do differently for Christmas. I know IHOP has the holiday pancake and the holiday this. I know McDonald's kind of does.
They've got to have some sort of a dessert.
My heart wants to say McDonald's, but my brain wants to say IHOP. I'm just going to go with McDonald's.
All right. And you are incorrect.
No!
I gotta say, you were also very cold. It was neither of those two.
Oh my God.
It is KFC.
Why?
And I don't know how I'd never heard this before, but I'm coming to you from timeout.com. They actually have a new article that was just written this year about it. It says, what's the deal with KFC and Christmas in Japan? The entire thing can be traced back to one man, Takashi Okawara, the enterprising manager of the first KFC in Japan, opened in Nagawa in November 1970. The company line is that Akawara had a dream about selling a party bucket full of chicken and started a one-store campaign to boost sales. The reason why he had the dream in the first place? He allegedly overheard an expat saying that they missed eating turkey for Christmas and that chicken was the next best option during the festive season. Whatever the case, Okawara's venture came to set the tone for Christmas in Japan for decades to come, especially after the winter of 1974. The fried chicken party bucket went national in 1974 with the slogan, "Kentucky is Christmas," cementing the connection between fried chicken and Christmas in the minds of many Japanese people. So how big of a deal is it? Apparently, a third of KFC's yearly sales, the standard party box with 8 pieces of chicken, a shrimp gratin, and chocolate cake, which I don't think shrimp gratin is a thing in the US for KFC.
Say.
But for sure, chocolate cake is only a Japan thing. I don't know how they do other people's money, but I did the converter and it's about $33. To make life more convenient, KFC also spread Christmas out to include the days leading up to Christmas because they said that they will get on a waiting list queue to get KFC for the December time. Like the online list will start in November.
What? This is wild. I feel like this is a really, really good example of how sometimes these random things just get associated with holidays for people. And then it just sticks. And for this guy, I mean, good on him because he found a way to, again, with the marketing, kind of promote his product and attach it to a really special time for everybody. Wow, that is wild.
Yeah, just because he said Kentucky is Christmas and people were like, wow, I guess never thought of it like
They're
that.
like, well, I guess Kentucky is Christmas.
Yeah. It's like they don't know that much about what we do here. They just know that we eat fatty foods and...
God, and fried chicken is so good. Damn, I didn't see that one coming at all. So you got me on that one.
Yeah, when I found it, my mind was blown. I had to completely throw out what I was going to do. I will just say, though, fun side fact, this is what I was going to go with a petty angle on this one.
Oh.
Steve Harvey, every Christmas after he had gotten famous, he sent his like 3rd or 6th grade teacher a TV for Christmas every year because he said he wanted to be on TV one day. And they say that she was kind of shitty to him and it like really hurt his feelings. So then after he got famous, he would send her a TV every year so that she would not miss him.
No He doesn't.
I think she's dead now. In the article, it said for the years she was alive or something like that.
Oh my God. What if this was another one of those situations where even in death, Steve Harvey couldn't let it go? And so he just like kept bringing TVs to her grave each year.
Oh my God. It's like the dude with the coffee cups, except he can do TVs because he's rich.
Or the dude with the freaking roadkill.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Harvey puts on a wig. Oh, well, that was just a ball full of laughs. And you know what else is fun?
Christmas present ideas through ads. Hey everyone, I'm about to play a trailer for our friend Ashley's podcast, That's So Fucked Up. If you love the weird and bizarre facts we share, you'll love this show. Help support more independent pods by giving her show a follow.
This is That's So Fucked Up, a podcast about cults, murder, and other fucked up stuff. Like really, really fucked up stuff. He tore out her heart, tied it to a rope, and hung it on the wall. Fucking sharks ate Mark under the dinghy. After his dad dies, he fucking marries all his dad's wives.
Oh, yeah.
He like marries all his stepmoms. I'm your host, Ashley Love Richards. Find That's So Fucked Up anywhere you listen to podcasts.
That's fucked up.
And we're back, you ho-ho-hos.
That's my favorite pun, I think, my favorite Christmas pun.
It's one of mine, too.
You might hear it again later.
Oh, I hope I do. I was so tempted to put it in my story, but I was like, I know Trevin's going to. I know he is.
Guarantee I made it last year, too.
It's just so good. You have to. So I am first this week. And before I start my story, I just want to throw out a little reminder. Not for little ears, not for little Christmas ears, this story. It's not like we ever tell any stories that are like horrible. You know, I have some adult humor in here.
Yeah.
And just wanted to put that little warning. But without further rambling, it's a Christmas story from the news. So here we go. There is lots of idolizing done during the holidays. Children stand in awe of their elves on shelves. Wow. Churchgoers praise little baby Jesus. And busy moms wish they had half the energy of the people in Target's festive commercials.
Buy some shit. You should really buy some shit.
But what happens if you idolize the Big Daddy of Christmas? Those that worship him call him a saint, while only those that knew him in his childhood can call him Chris. That's right, I'm talking about Santa Claus. While most young boys grow up idolizing superheroes, rock stars, or some other danger-seeking role model, Jesse Berube was different. From a young age, he always had major respect for Santa Claus. Jesse's adoration wasn't because of Santa's generosity towards children, or his jolly spirit. He actually found Santa's jiggly gut and boisterous laugh to be a bit much. Jesse loved Santa for what he actually was, a criminal in disguise. For years, Jesse watched in awe as Santa transformed his evil transgressions into holiday traditions. Instead of receiving trespassing or breaking and entering charges, he was given milk and cookies by his victims. Instead of receiving speeding tickets, he impressed people all over the globe. And Jesse seemed to be the only one blown away that Santa running over someone's grandmother in the 70s was turned into a hit song. As Jesse grew, he aspired to be more like Saint Nick, but by the year of 2017, Jesse found himself in a slump. He was now 32 years old, living in Citrus Heights, California, and working a dead-end job.
Would you like to upgrade to a big-ass meal for a quarter?
To distract himself, Jesse spent most of his free time at local dive bars or listening to podcasts like Santa May Be a Criminal. Recently, his regular hangout was a spot called Lori's Little Shack. He enjoyed sitting at the small bar and listening to the gentle sounds of pool balls hitting each other. The bartenders there also knew how to make a strong drink with no apologies. Jesse hadn't realized it was already December until he had walked into the bar. He immediately noticed the greenery and employee stockings hanging over the cozy fireplace. He let out a sigh. Once his favorite holiday, Christmas now was just a reminder of how disappointing his life had become. Jesse sat at the bar and ordered a whiskey on the rocks. He threw the drink down his throat and began to spiral inside. He was supposed to be somebody that people adored, yet was able to take whatever he wanted.
You okay, Jesse?
The familiar voice of Lori, the bar owner, interrupted his inner turmoil. Jesse cleared his throat and nodded.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
He managed to say back.
Listen, hun, it's the holidays. It's no time to act blue.
Lori playfully lectured him as she pinched Jesse's cheek.
Better put a smile on, because Santa is always watching.
Lori laughed as she walked away to refill the ice bins, leaving Jesse festering with anger. He fixated on the employee stockings, hanging just above the barren fireplace. Then, he got an idea. An awful idea. Jesse got a wonderful, awful idea. He would show Lori and everyone else just how important he was, and leave all of them with nothing but a blue Christmas. The following night, Jesse returned to Lori's little shack, but this time, it was after closing time. Jesse channeled his inner Santa as he snuck in and out of the nighttime shadows. He located a ladder attached to the side of the building and began to climb. Jesse huffed and puffed as he scaled the metal bars, telling himself it was the altitude of the building and not that he was out of shape. When he reached the top of the building, he took a break to breathe. He thought about his plan to break in and what stealing all the stocking gifts and money in the cash register would feel like. Better yet, he would be truly living out his Santa dreams by entering through the bar's chimney. Jesse clapped his hands together in excitement as he hyped himself up to take the leap. He looked down the dark chimney one last time before jumping in, feet first. Jesse expected it to be a decent ride straight down to the fireplace. Instead, there was an unexpected 90-degree angle taken, making it a short ride, ending in disaster. Jesse had gotten himself completely wedged inside the chimney flute. Immediately panicking, Jesse struggled to make his way back up out of the chimney. However, all of his efforts were no use. It was quickly apparent to Jesse that he now understood why Santa needed his many helpers. It was also apparent that there would be no one coming to save Jesse. No reindeer, no elves, not even the Christmas spirit itself would help Jesse out of this hole. With all the humility he could muster, Jesse wiggled one of his hands into his pant pocket. He grabbed his cell phone and dialed 911. 911, what is your emergency?
Yes. I'm stuck in a chimney and need help getting out. I'm serious!
On Wednesday, December 13th of 2017, Jesse Berube of Citrus Heights, California, made a call to 911 from inside a chimney. Emergency responders arrived at the scene, which was a rooftop of a local dive bar named Lori's Little Shack. Sacramento Metro fire crews used a tripod device to pull Jesse from the chimney flute with surprisingly no injuries. However, he was immediately arrested for burglary-related crimes. The Citrus Heights PD documented the entire evening, taking an image of Jesse stuck inside the chimney and capturing his distraught and soot-covered face in his mugshot. The department savagely tweeted about the arrest, stating,
"Criminal Santa does not have the same skills as the real deal."
Sacramento Metro Fire Department Battalion Chief Brad Schumacher theorized about how the crime occurred, saying,
"He probably figured the chimney would go straight down into the fireplace, and when it took a 90-degree corner, he got stuck.
I don't know how he was able to reach his phone. Lori LaMoreau was also interviewed about why she thought this happened. I'm glad no one was hurt, and think it makes for a great Christmas story. There was probably about 300, 400 in those stockings, she said, talking about her employee stockings hanging above the fireplace. When asked about Jesse being a regular customer of hers, Lori responded with, "That's what was more shocking." When it comes to Santa Claus, no one can slay quite like he can. Not even his biggest fan. I think this holiday season, we should all sit back and relax. Try not to obsess over anyone or thing, and please stay out of chimneys.
Sleigh Queen Santa. That was a good pun. That never crossed my mind with any of the stuff I was writing. And that's runner-up for show title right there. Sleigh Queen.
Oh, yes. I know. I love a good sleigh pun. Oh, my God. Please. So, this guy, what did you think about him being a regular customer and then getting stuck in the dive bar's chimney?
I'd really like to know how, I forgot the character's name, how the gruff Margot Robbie bartender.
Lori.
Yeah, I wonder how Lori felt about that. If he really is a regular and she knows him well. Is it one of those things where she's the bartender trope or it's just like, ah, man, he's always having a rough go at it. Like, that's just what it is. Or do you think she felt a little hurt? Because I know her response was like, it's only $400 or whatever.
Yeah, and she said it makes for a good Christmas story, but are you going to welcome him back into your place of business with open arms?
Yeah, are your feelings hurt a little bit? At least for me, when I worked at the convenience store, certain customers of mine were like little friends. I followed their life stories and stuff. And so if one of them tried to steal from me, I'd say, hey, I thought we were buddies.
And bar owners, I mean, that's even more personal than a convenience store, connection. Yeah. That's like a very, very well played up thing in the movies where the bartender's like, tell me your problems, you know? That's a very intimate connection. So I agree. I don't know. She sounded way too chill about it to me, too.
Plus, it's a dive bar. I mean, they can't be rolling in that much dough. I'm not saying to do it, but it's like there's plenty of big chains that you could probably get more from and hurt less.
I know. To be clear, too, I don't know if that was exactly what he was breaking in to take was the stuff in the employee stockings, but that detail was in her little interview and everything. So I was like, maybe he saw him hanging there and was like, okay, just a straight shot down. And I don't know.
So they never interviewed him?
No.
That's surprising. Or at least they didn't release it.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. But I would like to know more about the motivation of it. And I can only imagine he was just trying to get money, I guess.
It's gotta be, especially if he knows they were doing donation stuff, which makes it even worse,
No, I know.
Stealing from the kids. I was like, oh, don't steal from a dive bar. Now I'm thinking, wait, you're not just stealing from a dive bar, you're stealing from the kids.
Or the employees that serve you on a regular basis. I don't know if it was going to a donation for kids or just like stockings for her employees. I don't know. I don't know. So I just kind of had to make up his infatuation with Santa. And I had to make up that maybe Lori, spelled with 2 E's, may I add. Lori's Little Shack, I did look it up, looks like a friendly little dive bar.
Oh, I love that name, Lori's Little Shack.
Yeah, so Lori with 2 E's. The whole story, I know it's kind of the corny down the chimney thing, but I just had to do it. Felt right.
Yeah, it did feel right. I mean, we'd never covered it before.
I know, God. And I'll post the pictures too, guys. When I say that his mugshot, he had soot all over his face, I'm not joking. Like, it's really embarrassing. And then there are pictures of him and he's like wedged in there.
It's amazing that he probably did get the phone out.
I know. That's what the guy said. He's like, I have no idea how he was able to call.
It's lucky he did.
I mean, could
Although
you imagine?
it would have been more funny.
Like, what would have happened?
Lori gets into work the next morning and
he's like, Lori, echoing down the chimney flue.
Yeah, and she's like, why does it smell like shit up there? It's like, I thought I was going to die.
That's right. I don't know why I was thinking it was either he was able to call for 911 or he was going to get burned alive. Like, I'm sure he could have yelled.
God, I hope that's not what happened.
But he's fine and well. He just kind of looks like a huge asshole.
Yeah, like I said, you've got a connection to them. If you worked for like a small owner-operator place and I didn't even really know them that well, I wouldn't rob them.
I know.
Be like, you work for them. Who cares? I mean, unless they were a
know.
mean boss, then I would say.
He probably thought it was an easy thing and that he would never get suspected, or I don't know what he was thinking. We'll never know. But something sent him over the edge.
Something I learned in swimming lessons. You got to look before you leap.
Lesson learned.
In a 90-degree turn, not smart.
No, God, no.
So you're going to have to listen closely. I was listening pretty closely, and I couldn't find a really great connection.
Okay.
And honestly, you and I are on a bad streak of no good connections.
I know. Are we just out of sync, Trevin?
I think we're out of sync.
We need to sync back up.
Yeah, we need to sync our cycles up. So hopefully we're sunk on this one, but we'll see.
Okay.
And I also have a Christmas story from the news. I have been holding on to this bad boy for, it feels like a long time. I would say at least 6 months.
Yeah, you told me you've known it for a very, very long time.
I'm always trying to think outside the box. And when I came across it, I thought, this is perfect. I needed something outside the box. So let's just have a holly jolly time.
Question mark?
And here we go. There's no holiday-themed article of clothing more iconic than the ugly sweater. By simply donning this itchy abomination, you have told everyone at the social event that you are funny, interesting, and full of cheer. The crowd responds with compliments and looks of appreciation.
Nice sweater.
You are the life of the party, and everyone wants to be with you. But it didn't used to be that way. Ugly Christmas sweaters were first known as Jingle Bell sweaters and were worn on the covers of holiday albums in the 1950s. Even though musicians wore them, they were not popular. Quirky comedies of the 80s gave them more exposure, but the traction was ultimately lost in the 90s. From my childhood, I can remember so many classic holiday movies and shows where kids receive a tacky sweater.
Aw, man.
Ugly sweaters and socks were always the bad gift of choice in these comedic scenes. It was so relatable then. A questionable aunt picks one up on clearance,
Precious.
or a sweet grandma wastes her time knitting one from scratch, only for the kid's parents to make them wear it to protect the relative's feelings. The kid sticks out their lower lip, feeling ugly and uncomfortable, wondering why they couldn't have just gotten a toy like everyone else. The whole situation felt so universal then, but that was before irony became a big part of our culture. The first ugly sweater themed party was held in 2002 in Vancouver, after the originators realized that these garments could be worn in a humorous way. From there, more and more parties began to pop up, and giant clothing brands started throwing their newly designed sweaters into the mix. Now, over 20 years later, every store has their own versions, with corporate offices even participating in the tradition. There are licensed sweaters with working lights, homemade tops with loud jingly bells attached, and if you want to be a ho-ho-ho for your party, there are plenty of iterations that incorporate a little bit of nudity. I've attended many ugly Christmas sweater parties in my day, and have done a few photo shoots with my cats. There's something about them that I just love. It's like wearing a holiday-themed meme on your chest for a night. How will you choose to entertain the masses while covering your torso? The choices are endless. This holiday season, you are all invited to attend one of the most historic ugly sweater parties of all time. A party full of rough cotton, Yuletide cheer, and yes, criminal acts. So paste some cotton balls on a 95% plastic pullover from Walmart, because we need you looking good for this one. Ice chunks clink against the glass of Michael's White Russian. Is this what Christmas has become? He asked himself, licking the eggnog milk mustache from above his upper lip. For the first time in 24 years, here I am, with no plans. It's the Friday before the big holiday, and there's nothing to do. I'm going to need a Christmas miracle if I'm going to do anything other than pass out and wake up in a puddle of my own piss. Michael took another sip from his drink, as his cell phone serendipitously got a notification. He turned the screen over, revealing a message from his friend Corey. Yo! Put on the most rancid top you've got! We're going to an ugly sweater party at the Franklin Institute! Michael simultaneously experienced panic and excitement. Could this be the Christmas miracle he was looking for? A chance to get drunk in a museum? If he were to seize this most epic opportunity, he would need a sweater in record time. Still contemplating his direction, another notification from Corey appeared. "I'm on my way! Don't be a humbug little bitch and miss out!" Michael threw his phone down and ran to his closet. He pulled out every bit of ugly clothing he had, eventually deciding on a green sweater with a tree pattern on it.
It's perfect.
Pulling the sweater over his head and checking the fit in the mirror, Michael shrugged at his appearance as Corey began knocking at his door. Feeling as ready as he's going to be, Michael approached the front door and let Corey in. As soon as the door opened, the two locked eyes and panned down to view the other sweater. Michael looked at Corey's garment, a custom-made sweatshirt with a red and green striped penis drawn on it, equipped with 2 hanging bells. "Jingle balls, huh? Classic," Michael said, admiring his friend's attire. "What do you think of mine?" Corey took one look at Michael's sweater and held back laughter. "You call that ugly? This may be the most elegant Christmas sweater I've ever seen. Was that thing designed by Versace? Maybe the fact that it's beautiful will be funny to some people. Let's go." Michael went along with Corey, having mixed feelings towards his sweater of choice. The ride went on with Corey explaining how he found the party, suggesting the Franklin Institute was pretty out of character for Corey. He never cared for art or history, but he did love to drink. As long as drinking was involved, Corey was willing to do anything. The two pulled into the parking lot, gasping at the size of the building. "It's even bigger than I imagined," Michael said. "Yeah," Corey replied. "They better have one of those big-ass dinosaurs made of bones. I want to get Tyrannosaurus trashed." With their tickets scanned at the door, both of the boys entered. As soon as they walked in, their senses were overtaken by all things Christmas. Warming notes of nutmeg brushed across their nostrils. Party music blared from surrounding speakers, and the heat from hundreds of sweater-wearing patrons left Michael feeling parched. From then on, the name of the game was to drink as many cold alcoholic beverages as possible to stay hydrated. With each rum and coke or vodka tonic consumed, the boys would experience short bouts of relief, followed by even stronger hot flashes.
It's so damn hot.
Within the first hour, the two friends found themselves sweaty, disheveled, and pretty drunk. This was the sweet spot as far as Michael and Corey were concerned. Corey could now drunkenly stumble into a good time, while Michael had drunk enough to feel confident socializing with strangers. It was shaping up to be a really good time. There were so many people to mingle with, and drinking around modern art was pretty cool too. But the party hit a bit of a lull when Corey met a single lady by the bar. "I'm literally surrounded by masterworks of history's most talented artists, and yet your sweater is the best thing I've seen all night," Corey said to the woman, motioning down towards her top. The woman stood confidently with one breast exposed, decorated like a reindeer. "Thanks, I made it myself," she said. From that point on, Corey was glued to the woman with googly eyes above her areola. Michael took that as an opportunity to get some space. He didn't come to a party in a museum just to talk to people. He wanted to see some cool shit. Spotting a dark hallway across the room, Michael avoided guests and crossed its velvet rope without detection. "Nothing says cool shit ahead like a velvet rope," he said to himself as he walked down its dark corridor. His inner child began to scream as he stumbled upon the directory. Just a few steps away sat the Brain exhibit, the Xi'an Cavalry exhibit, the planetarium, and even the Benjamin Franklin electricity demonstrations. He wondered to himself if this was the miracle of Christmas all along, a drunk-ass escapade through a museum. Without wasting any time, Michael leapt in the direction of the first exhibit. He ran up and down the fluorescent purple steps, learning about neuroscience in the Brain exhibit. "The Brain is so cool!" he shouted out with glee, stopping to take a Christmas sweater selfie with the human body's fattiest organ. Next, he took a trip back to the 3rd century BC China. There, he met the cavalryman and the rest of his soldiers, part of a 10-figure exhibit from the actual burial site of China's first emperor. He saw art from epic battle scenes and learned so much culture from their centuries-old writing. It was so cool to be in the presence of art created over 2,000 years ago. It was only natural to want to take a selfie with them too. Michael stepped over the velvet ropes and joined his new 3rd century old friend. "Yo, it's a privilege, bro. I really respect what you did for the first unified dynasty of Imperial China." He raised his cell phone high and snapped a selfie. "And you big dick king," Michael yelled, turning his attention to the lead cavalryman. "I want to shake your hand." He swiftly stepped over the velvet rope and approached the cavalryman from the front. "It's been an honor," he earnestly stated, reaching forward and gripping the soldier's terracotta thumb. Getting lost in the moment, Michael looked deep into the sculpture's eyes as he instinctively began to move his arm. With very little force applied, the cavalryman's thumb snapped off, freely held by Michael's powerful yet inebriated hand.
What have I become?
Michael shouted to himself.
I made a new hero, and 5 seconds into meeting him, I tore his thumb off.
He continued to weep tears of evidence onto the ancient thumb, slurping up his snot and making a dramatic declaration.
You will not die in vain, old wise thumb.
He yelled, quickly shoving the terracotta thumb beneath his ugly sweater and escaping into the night. In December of 2017, the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia discovered a 3rd century terracotta warrior missing a thumb after its annual ugly sweater party. Security reviewed surveillance footage where a man in a green sweater and red Phillies hat entered the restricted area to tour the exhibits. The security cameras showed the man climbing in the brain exhibit, taking videos of demonstrations, and even sneaking into the terracotta warrior exhibit, where he took selfies with sculptures that were over 2,000 years old. The illegal yet semi-innocent behavior ended there, however, as the man was seen grabbing the lead cavalryman's thumb, breaking it off, and leaving with it. FBI traced the surveillance footage back to Bear, Delaware man, 24-year-old Michael Rohana. When greeted at his front door, police asked if he had anything in his possession that he wanted to turn over. From there, he took them to his bedroom, where he pulled the terracotta thumb from beside a desk table. Michael Rohana was originally charged with the theft and concealment of an object of cultural heritage from a museum, as well as interstate transportation of stolen property. With the sculptures on loan to Franklin Institute from China, the Chinese authorities pushed for the most severe punishment, a possible 30 years in prison. Through different deliberations, a mistrial, and a long dispute of how much the thumb of a $4.5 million statue is worth, Michael took a plea deal, admitting guilt to a federal law against interstate trafficking of wrongfully obtained archaeological resources. Michael officially pled guilty in April of 2023. According to court documents, the maximum punishment he can receive is 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine. That's a pretty wild location for an ugly sweater party. You'd think if you did choose that location, the important exhibits would have been blocked by stronger locking doors or something. But what do I know? Maybe velvet rope made the most sense. No matter what you believe in this wintry holiday season, I hope you have some time off. I hope you spend time with the people you want to spend time with. And I hope you do at least one thing you like. Because I don't care if you think of this as a religious time of year or not. For me, this was always the mini vacation before summer vacation. A time where you get a break from school, everyone acts on their best behavior, and you get presents. I don't need to have a formal belief to know it's nostalgic for me to do happy things during this time. So put on an ugly sweater and drink some alcoholic milk. This is your chance to close 2023 out with a bang and give yourself the misdemeanor you've been putting off for so long. What better way to bring in the new year than with a fresh new rap sheet? Whether you're stealing the thumbs of ancient warriors, leaving feces in places it doesn't belong, or simply simulating a traffic stop to propose to your longtime partner. Have a merry, happy, good time from our petty family to yours.
Oh man, this museum really trusted the public to just walk up in there and get buck wild in their ugly Christmas sweaters?
I'm gonna guess that it's probably got like a big common area, and then you're probably not actually supposed to wander. I could be wrong though. I mean, here in Kansas City, we have Brew at the Zoo. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure at our museum you can get wine. Now, again, I don't know how much of a party it truly is.
Right. Oh, man. When you combine liquor and a party and people in there and then ancient artifacts, it's like those two should not mix. And then when you throw in there, the only divider is a little rope. Come on.
Yeah, they said something about, in one article I read, that there was a failure on the security team where they didn't do something that they were supposed to do, like lock them or, put up more barriers. But I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I'm sure they've learned now.
I mean, even if it isn't true, they're going to say that because it's like, oh, yeah, this is not our protocol.
Yeah, somebody lost their job over this.
And then when you said that China was like, no, harshest punishment.
30 years in jail.
It could have been 30 years?
Yeah. I didn't put all that in the recap because there was so much information. Because I think when I first heard about this, it was before the ending in April. It's a good thing I held on to it.
Yeah.
But it was like held off for a while, it was postponed. Then there was a mistrial. And then they had this big conversation of how much is the thumb worth? Because if you're stealing an artifact or you're stealing whatever, the punishment difference is divided by a dollar amount. So they were like, we have to figure out if this thumb is worth more than blah, blah, blah amount of money. And they were like, well, the statue's worth 4.5 million. So it was like, what percentage is the thumb and how do we figure that out? So they were going for the highest because they're like, it's a $4.5 million statue. This is the thumb. I don't know percentages of that, what that would be, but I'm sure even a very tiny percentage of $4.5 million is a lot.
What did he end up with again? How many years was it?
By the time it was all said and done, the most he was going to get was they dropped the historical blah, blah, blah charge because I guess his attorney got in there and was like, dude, that is a crazy charge that we invented basically for like Mission Impossible or Fast and the Furious type things when people do like art heists and shit.
Right.
It's like, this is a dude who broke off a thumb drunk.
So did he intentionally break the thumb?
That I don't know.
Because the way that you told it in the story sounded like an accident, but in the recap, it said in the video that it showed him grabbing it and breaking it, which could be interpreted either way.
Right. From a zoomed out camera, it's hard to kind of see.
Yeah.
Like did he put a lot of elbow grease into it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's drunk too, so he could have maybe stumbled into it or grabbed it and sort of fell forward. I don't really know, but from the way I'm hearing about it and everything, because I couldn't find any pictures, but they said he stopped to take selfies and stuff, so I can't imagine that he had, maybe this is me falling for a criminal, but I can't imagine going in there and doing that with ill intent. You know what I mean? Like, I would just think, this is my fun adventure time.
Yeah. It sounds like something that Jordan would do. Yeah. Honestly. Like, he loves going in restricted places that he shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. The story is all he needs. The story and the pictures.
Yes.
Not a thumb.
I know.
Plus, of all the things to take.
Yeah, that was a horrible mistake. You don't have pictures, so do you know that that was the sweater that he was wearing? Or?
So they just said they saw a man in a green sweater and a red hat. I think I might have seen one surveillance photo that was kind of far away, and I could just see the hat and the sweater.
Okay.
But I couldn't see what was on it, and as far as I could tell, his selfies never got released, which is what I wanted the most. I'll do some more digging before, but
I'm gonna dig too because I love finding a good photo from the crime. Okay.
Yeah, so the plea deal was that he only plead guilty to taking it over state lines. That was it. Not even just a small amount of it. They dropped the entire of the other one.
Thankfully for him. God.
Yeah, he's lucky that they did because, if China had their way, off with his head, maybe.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Connections.
Yes.
I actually have a few.
Good, because I just wasn't with it today.
Oh my God. Yeah, neither have I. But okay. Both of our crimes started with men drinking alone. Okay, I know that's not a huge connection. However, both of the crimes were kind of thought out in that first setting. Also, you gave, and I can't even remember why you said it or how, but you said Big Dick King.
Ah, yes, that's what the cavalryman was.
Okay, I said Big Daddy of Christmas in my story. So that was kind of similar. But for the grand finale of Connections,
yes,
both of them took place not only in December, of course, Christmas, but in the year 2017.
Whoa, okay, I guess I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah, there you have it. There are a few connections within there.
I like the men drinking alone a lot.
Do not leave these men alone drinking. They're going to come up with some horrible crimes.
It always happens.
Damn. Well, a lot of lessons learned.
Yes.
This holiday episode. And oh my God, I just want to take a quick minute here. I didn't prepare anything until right this second. But as we're wrapping up this year, as we're talking about the holiday and feeling grateful and everything, I just want to say thank you to our listeners. Like a big freaking thank you. I love our old listeners who've been there since the beginning, our new listeners who are popping up. We just love you all. I don't care how you heard about us. I'm just glad that you've stuck around. And I just wanted to say that real quick.
That's nice of you to do. I actually wanted to kind of do a little heartfelt thing myself and just say, thanks for joining us on the journey. We're closing out another year, about to take 2 weeks off. And I'll be honest, kind of feeling a little bit like I'm crawling towards the finish line of 2023. This was a very challenging year. I was looking back because I didn't realize that TikTok does TikTok memories, and I've been getting some lately.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, remember when you did this video? I'm like, holy shit, you and I were doing consistent TikTok videos over a year ago.
Damn.
And I was throwing out a song almost once a month, and we just had all that fun stuff going. And then I took the chance with trying to further my career, but I overworked myself for such a long time that it has been a very long process to get out of that cycle. And even though things are way better now, there's still a lot of it that kind of lingers because of, when you do something big to yourself, it kind of takes a while to reverse it back, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
I'm ready for our 2 weeks off. I'm ready for getting ourselves a bit of a reset. And my goal is to start doing a lot more bonus stuff and try to get back to doing some songs again.
Man, you know what? You already do so much for our show. I really have some big things I want to step up and do too in the next year. But thank you guys so much. Thank you from both of us. And I hope that however you guys are celebrating this time of year, you just have the best time. And just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to find ourselves on the naughty list and in a chimney.
Bye.
See ya.
Jingle bells, thanks for listening to the show.
If you want to stop me from buying ads for our show on ass cream products, follow us on social media and start sharing us around. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or Threads.
And if anyone out there has had a doppelganger criminal of their spouse, please let me know. I cannot be the only one. Send us your pictures or petty crime stories to livelifelarceny@gmail.com.
And give our show the same rating that my criminal would give his lawyer. Guy put 29 years back on his life. 5 stars. Rate our podcast at Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods.
However, he was immediately arrested for burglary-related crimes. However, he was immediately arrested for burglary. How do I say this?
Burglary.
Burglary. Oh, fucking hell. For burglary. No, that doesn't sound right. Burglary. Oh my God.